Hey GlamFam, Linwood here with my beautiful daughter Alexandria. Hi. And today we are going to be reviewing the RevAir reverse air dryer.
And it sucks your hair.
Yes, it sucks your hair right off your head. So they sent the RevAir machine, which it does have a storage hook on here for the actual hose. You can see Zan is showing you the clips that it came with there. Those are alligator clips, which are great for holding larger amounts of hair. They sent one of these beautiful Mr. Spray bottles, which I love these things. I use them in the salon because they mist instead of spray. It's lovely.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
I love how everything came because it was all very neatly stored. A lot of things were held together and held on with hair ties. So like this is a base, so you can use it while you are drying. The little heater portion goes in here. It's held on with a hair tie. So to me, I like the fact that you can take those pieces and utilize them later instead of it being just waste. It's very heavy, Zan. It does have a rubber. Oh, you're so strong. It has a pretty weighted base just to ensure that it's not tipping over as well. They also sent this bag here, and in this bag is a towel for your hair. It kind of reminds me of like those old school Turby twists.
And it's also good for holding cups in, because if you put a cup in there, like a small cup, like a really small cup, with like products that you need for hair, then you can put them in there and then you can pull this and then it'll close. And then wherever you go, like if you're going to a salon and that person needs something from you, they can come get it from home and then bring it right to them and let them use it on your hair.
So great multi-purpose bag. As you guys can see, this is Zan's texture. It is slightly stretched at the moment, but just so you guys can see what it is we are working with in terms of starting points. Zan's hair is high porosity. It tends to battle with dryness, things like that. So we honestly don't like to use a ton of heat on there. So the RevAir was a nice solution for that problem. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get her shampooed and conditioned, and then we'll come back and I'll go ahead and detangle with our wet brush and we'll get into the nitty gritty. I also forgot to mention that everything came stored in a bag like this here, which is very convenient and handy. So it was nice, and I honestly
and ginormous.
Yes, and ginormous. I feel like it's quite multi-purpose, so that's nice as well. So let's do this.
Let's do this. Hair my hair. Thank you.
I'm gonna section her hair off in probably about 4 sections. As you guys can see, this is a brush I was talking to you about before. It is great for tender-headed little people because the bristles give and the brush gives. So for thick hair, things like that, it just works wonders. So you guys can see I'm getting through this hair with little to no problems whatsoever, and Zan is not flinching, not fussing, anything like that. Things to keep in mind while you detangle your little people's hair.
Hey, look, it's a blue, it's an orca jumping out of the water.
I'm glad that you know that that's called an orca, and on top of that, I love to bite you in the face.
No, you did not.
Yes, I do, because I'm a mean dad.
No, you are not.
Yes, I am. So now that we have this hair detangled, I'm gonna go ahead and start by parting it in 4 sections. And we're back, and you guys can see this hair is sectioned into 4 subsections like. I'm gonna go ahead and drop from about the ear down, and we're gonna do a pretty good size section. I'm gonna go ahead and try out these 3-inch sections and see what the Lord has to say. Now from there, I'm gonna go ahead and go through with the comb and try to comb that hair out as smooth as possible. I just wanna make sure there's no tangles in this hair before we start. It recommends on here that you start off with a heat or with a force of 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with 2, and then we'll go ahead and see how that does, and we'll move up from there. I'm gonna start with low heat as well. It does have a feature on here for low heat, no heat, and high heat, which even high heat was only like 800 watts, and most of your blow dryers that you'll see over the counter start at about 1200 watts. So Yeah, and professional ones go significantly higher, like up to 1800 if not higher than that. So before I went ahead and put the hair in here, I did detangle it one more time, and I stretched the hair just to ensure that it wouldn't get as tangled as I thought that it would, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. Now this one here, I'm doing at regular speed because I want you guys to see about how long it took for her hair to get dry. It took, I'd say, maybe about 30 seconds, if not a little bit under for this first time. This was with it on the setting of number 2, and it goes from 0 all the way up to 7. To be quite honest with you, I did this on low, and I feel like that wasn't quite enough for what I was looking for. So I went ahead and took it out after that 30 seconds and tested it. And you guys can see it didn't get it super smooth, so I did turn it up some and went ahead and tried it again. Once I did that, I realized, okay, this is the number setting that's working for me, and I stuck with that number setting from then on, which that was number 5 on a high heat for her, which honestly, even the high heat was not hot at all. So we're speeding through the rest of this just so you guys can kind of quickly see. Just make sure that you are reading the instructions, and whichever way you're doing it, make sure that you are holding that RevAir straight out from that section. This is the before and the after, so I felt like it was pretty impressive, and I love the shine on her hair, especially because it's not using a ton of heat to get it there. And if you have a little person who doesn't like to sit still, of course these clips, as you can see, serve as excellent entertainment purposes for them. Honestly, you guys, this was really easy. It even got the scalp area dry. I do wiggle it at the scalp a little bit, but you don't want to pull it in and out at the scalp. Again, just make sure you read the instructions and you'll be good to go. And we are done. I will say I was honestly pretty surprised when you put it on the high heat setting. Like, the setting we ended up using for Zan was the force of 5, which it goes from 0 to 7, and we used the high heat setting, and even the high heat setting was lower than I think the low heat setting on most of my professional hair dryers. So I'm really surprised, hands down please, I'm really surprised that it got it this smooth. It feels rather soft as well. And the experience seemed pretty calming and fine for Zan. Zan, what were your thoughts on it?
It kind of feels so fluffy, like a pillow. So fluffy, just like a pillow.
It didn't really seem like it got hot at all on the outside. The hose never got hot. It was never uncomfortable for me to touch. It did a really good job, and honestly, it did better than I was expecting. The only drawbacks I would say would be the hose portion of it is a bit heavy, so if you have a lot of issues with your wrists, things like that, you may want to be very mindful of the angle that you hold it at, especially for the sake of ergonomics and not ending up with issues with your wrists later, especially if you're trying to use this on a frequent basis. Make sure that you are taking care of those wrists and that you're holding it in a way that is comfortable and it's not bending at the wrist. And honestly, even her scalp is dry. The only other thing that I would say I feel like is a drawback or a con would probably be the price point, because it is rather high, but honestly, with as good of a job as it does, and the fact that it comes with a warranty, the fact that it has so many different features and things on it, and it made the job honestly rather painless for her and pretty quick as well. Plus, there is very minimal heat being used, so I think that's a plus, yes.
How come it has to suck your hair?
Because it's a reverse air dryer, so instead of blowing the hair, it sucks the water off of the hair.
Oh, that makes it easier.
Now, if for some reason you're using it and you notice that hair does tangle, anything like that, then you have the force up too high. You need to turn the force down, which is why they recommend starting at 2 and working your way on up depending on your fabric of hair and how coily it is. Now, it did say that it could take anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds to dry, and for Zan, 30 seconds was sufficient. So I'm assuming maybe if you have incredibly thick hair, taking either a slightly smaller section or doing it for a longer amount of time would be the best way to go. But in her instance, and you guys can see how much hair she has, I think it did a great job, and we got it done in about 15 minutes from start to finish. So yeah, do you have anything extra you would like to add?
Well, also, since it's 30 seconds, I was doing this to show you guys. You might think that this is a W, but it's actually a number 3 because I don't know how to do a number 3 in sign language.
Of course, all the information for RevAir will be down in the description box down below. I will say they communicate with you the whole process. They even emailed me when the package showed up to my door, so that way I didn't have to worry with tracking and all that type of stuff. Everything was fantastic. It was packaged very well. I like the look of the stuff, and honestly, like, even though I just blow dried her and all that, my hands are cold. They're cold. So yeah, so to me, I will say I'm rather impressed, and yeah, I'm a fan. Make sure that you read the instructions, because reading is fundamental. It's like 40% fun, 50% mental, and 10% duh. Why aren't you doing it? Especially because about every 5 uses, you want to clean out the filter on there, just to make sure there's no hair, no product, no lint, anything like that in there. And I think that's all I have to say. So until next time, you guys, take care, God bless, stay glam, and make sure to check out RevAir. You know we love you, boo.
Daddy, what about check the comment box down below?
Yes. If you like this video, make sure to let us know by leaving a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the comment box down below, or if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this. And you can also push that bell to turn on post notifications if you would like to know every time that we post.
If you would like to know more hairstyles, then come and watch GlamFam. I'm having a trouble with saying my words because I lost plenty of my teeth.
Yes, plenty. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and enjoy our day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, you guys.
Adios, amigo.
Yes.
And adios,
Amigas and amigos.
I'm trying to say it's Spanish. I can't remember how to do.
Adios, amigas is girls. Adios, amigos is boys.
Okay. Adios, amigos is easier. It is.
I think it's just what you're used to. Let me dry your mustache.